what's going on, y'all? It's your boy Jay, back in here making another video with y'all today. Today we're gonna go over the 5 things you absolutely need to know to start producing music. So just 5 points in general. I'm gonna show you the core fundamentals that you need in order to produce music today in 2024. All right, so let's hop into it. There are 5 main things that I think are pretty essential that you know whenever you want to go ahead and start making music, or at least all of these points for the most part will really help whenever you get to that state. They'll help in a very significant way. So the first thing you need to know is you need to know your genre. So, what genre are you shooting for? What genres do you like to listen to? That'll usually be a pretty big tell as far as what genre you'll end up wanting to make. Because making a folk song is real different from making a metal record, or making a pop song is different from R&B, or hip hop or country or whatever. And sometimes they can blend, but you do want to go into it kind of knowing what you're shooting for. Now, I do know that sounds pretty self-explanatory, but you'll know where you want to end up by the end of the song. The second point, and a lot of people, I already know a whole bunch of people gonna click off once I get to the point, but please hear me out. The next point you would want to know is music theory. Now, I know music theory sounds ultra complicated. I'm not saying you gotta go to school. I'm not saying you gotta go take a course. I'm not saying you gotta learn how to play piano, guitar, any type of instrument like that. But what I am saying is music theory makes making music 10, 20, 30 times easier, if I'm being honest. You ain't got to know like your scales, chords, fourths, fifths, rudiments, arpeggios, etc. But bruh, I ain't gonna lie, for real, it really do help. So you can learn that, go ahead and learn that, because it's going to include a lot of the fundamentals. So things like rhythm, tempo, majors, your minors. But I mean, even in that, I honestly, I'm not even gonna sit up here and lie to you and say you absolutely need to know music theory, because I wouldn't have gotten my start if it relied on the fact that I knew music theory, because that wasn't the case. Especially with technology today, it really don't take much for you to be able to create a song. Like, as long as you know how your favorite songs sound, and you can kind of put those things together, if you're a creative individual, then it's probably gonna work for you, if I'm being honest. But I was in band since 6th grade, took band classes all the way through high school. So in that, I learned all my scales, all my chords, how to read music, how to sight read music, all my rhythms and things. I was on the drum line. I will say that whenever it came to producing music, it was a whole lot easier knowing, okay, these things are going to fit and these things definitely aren't going to fit. I also took other music classes just in case they would help me as well. So I know I sat in with the jazz band. I know I took IB music. So that went through all the history of, how music came to be, composers, how did a perfect fifth come about, all these other rules that we follow today, almost unknowingly. Now, am I saying that you learning all of that is really gonna help you? No, I'm not. I'm honestly not saying that at all. If you ask me about like a 1800s composer right now, I'm gonna look at you like you crazy, because I really don't know. But what I am saying is understanding those like little fundamentals that people don't really take all that seriously nowadays might be exactly what you need in order to put you in front of somebody as far as your level of understanding in music once it comes, time for you to make a song. So ultimately, if you're 100% serious, like, all right, bet, I'm going to produce music, or I'm going to be an artist, or I'm going to be, a mix engineer, anything involving the creation of music, and 100%, I'm going to do that for a career. If you still in school, I know you probably like, oh shoot, I don't want to come off lane, but bruh, go join a band class, go get in chorus, go do jazz band, do something that involves music, do something cool. You know what I'm saying? I played drum set like the majority of high school. Ain't nobody thought I was lame, for real. Take those classes. If not, YouTube. I'm telling you, YouTube is your best friend. YouTube University ain't failed me yet. You know what I'm saying? I graduated with a PhD, a doctorate. You know what I'm saying? There ain't nobody who got more honors than me in YouTube University. That's how I'm able to do what I'm doing now. But I really do think getting some type of lessons in music theory or understanding of it will really take you a long way, man. All right, so now number 3 on the list, this is something that's looked over a lot by people, who are just starting out in music. It is also pretty huge. It is sound selection. Now, one thing that people do not take into account is the types of sounds you choose, which vocal takes did you actually send over, because realistically, people get plugins, people get a bunch of effects and things like that, and they think, okay, this take was bad, I'll just fix it after the fact. Or this beat, something kind of off with it, I'll go slap, a plugin on it and it's gonna fix it, or whatever the case may be. You cannot make trash sound like Alicia Keys all of a sudden. Like, let's be honest. Actually, with AI now, you might be able to. Basically, there's a whole lot of resources with a bunch of high quality sounds, a bunch of things that you can use. When I started producing, I really had to do a bunch of crate digging through like Reddit, through friends sending me links, through some other ways. I'm gonna be honest. But nowadays you can still do that in like Reddit forums, or if you're in Discord communities and things like that. There's plenty of them. People be sharing packs and libraries and stuff like that. Yeah, and then in those Discord communities, I know a lot of creators, they create their own loop packs, they create their own sample libraries. They have their own one shots and stuff like that. So you can definitely use those. A lot of them are free. Sometimes you can buy them. And then, if all else fails, and honestly, these are good resources too. There's also really big sound libraries that you can get subscriptions for. So Splice is a major one. I use Splice myself. I know there's Loop Cloud, and TrackLib. If you want to be like a sample based person, you can go, get your license for a sample right there without having to go through a whole bunch of hoops and things like that. But yeah, realistically, if you have a bad sound in your production, if you know something that just kind of sounds off, go ahead and just fix it now. It's gonna sound way better in the long run. Sometimes sounds aren't even necessary. So like this one sound, this one little ding 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 ding, whatever, what does it really add? Does it add a whole bunch to the song? If not, delete it, bro. Turn it down. Like, it's really not that important. But you having it in there and you knowing that it sounds kind of off, guess what? No matter how many plugins you put on it, how many things you do to it, is it adding? If not, subtract it, bro. It's pretty simple. All right, so the next thing would be figuring out what you're going for. So I know that kind of ties back into the first point that I made, but this is more specific. So, this isn't just classical's way different from, like rock or whatever. I get that that's the difference, but this is more within that genre, within that subset. So like, let's say you choose hip hop, for example. If I'm a producer, like I'm trying to make beats and whatnot, am I making a beat right now for Eminem, or am I making a beat for Lil Durk? Am I making a beat for A Boogie with the hoodie, or am I making a beat for Kendrick or Cole or whoever, Uzi? So like, you need to go ahead and figure out exactly what lane you're trying to kind of be in. And I'm not even saying that you can't try to combine elements of two different things, but going into the process, kind of having an idea of how that will end up looking will probably do you a whole lot better by the time everything's said and done, just because you kind of know what direction you should head in. You just kind of figure out when to say when at a certain point. And then the very last point, and I know it's gonna be real cliche, most of y'all gonna be like, all right, bro, like, what I'm saying, I already understand, I get you type stuff. But it's really to have fun, man. Like, legit, make sure you enjoy it. The music industry is cutthroat. It is what it is. I know it's real easy to get caught up in wanting to be the next big artist, big producer, wanting to make records with your favorite artist. You know what I'm saying? Like, anybody want to do that. Shoot, I want to do that. But at the same time, man, make sure you enjoy the process. Make sure you enjoy what you're doing. Who knows who you could help right now? Who knows the experiences that you could have right now just in your community, just within the people that you interact with. There's a lot of opportunities out here. And I'm not saying everything's a top dog opportunity, but like I really truly believe that there's a lot of opportunities for you to be able to make your own lane within this. It'll just be so much more rewarding if you enjoyed the ride up to wherever you're going versus just honing in and focusing so hard on that thing that literally could take a decade to get to. You just don't appreciate everything that it took to get to where you're at. Try new things, get those ideas done, like create new ideas, lay those ideas down, and make sure you let people hear it. Make sure that people are able to listen to it. One of my biggest, I don't know if I'd say it's a regret maybe, but to some extent, yes, it is me not letting people hear my stuff sooner. I'm young, I'm 23, I got plenty of time. Sure, I get that. But I feel like if I had to let people hear my stuff sooner and I wasn't so, I guess, shy about it to an extent, I would be further than where I'm at now. Speaking of listening to things, I just put out a project called I Stop Caring. There's the link down in the description. Just take a listen to it. Let me know what you think. Also, if you like this video and you want to check out more of me, there should be some more link on the screen in the bio and your recommendations. I don't know where I put it yet, if I'm gonna be honest, but just make sure you like, comment, subscribe, share, all that stuff that you guys do to show love. I appreciate y'all. I'm out.